Okay, so welcome to those people who said they were interested in finding out. I'm just turning all my stuff off, making sure we're not going to get disturbed. Here we go. So I'm going to try and see if I can read the comments below. I've just been sitting here painting this morning on a very, very cold and lovely, actually, winter's day here in Cape Town. So I set a tone for an inquiry, something that has been bugging me for a very, very long time. And it's basically saying that I think a lot of people have a question that comes up and it says, is this it? Is this really what life is about? Is this all there is to life? And when they normally make that remark or question, it's because you've been working most of your life really hard, in fact, to earn a living, to create a career, to bring up a family, or to, start your own business. And all of these things feel like all we are doing continuously, excuse these little birds outside. All we are doing continuously is trying to get somewhere. And then we think one day when I retire, one day when I'm old, I'm going to enjoy all the benefits of what I've created. But in fact, what happens is we just work harder, work more, and do less of the stuff that truly makes us feel alive. And this is what I want to speak to today. So if comments come up, I'll check at the bottom and see if I can read them as we are going along. So if you are in this position, then this is definitely for you. If you want to realize and say, okay, this surely can't be it. Is there anyone with a bit of insight, information, how to cope with stress better, handle life better, shift where I am? I might not be happy where I am right now. Maybe I can do something to change direction or have a life that I enjoy more. Then this is for you. So a little bit of background about who I am. I'm Nadia Brand. I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist. I'm a mom to two gorgeous girls, and I live in Cape Town, South Africa. And before I did what I'm doing now, which is life coaching and hypnotherapy, before I did this, I was actually a film and music video producer. So I'll tell a little bit about the history. I was studying acting in Cape Town, then met someone, moved to the UK, and we started our own film production company. And what that means is we made films. That's what we did as a job. And I started to think, well, I've never done production, never done producing, so this is a new job for me. And I got dumped into it by being married to a director. So I learned how to organize film shoots, how to shoot things, edit things, sound effects, make movies, get funding. And that's what I did for a day job for about 11 years. I made lots of films, lots of music videos, traveled the world, spent some time in Norway, Romania, Spain, France, Italy. So Cannes Film Festival, I've been there and it's pretty amazing. But I was at the end of when the relationship broke down, I was a bit lost. I'd lost my entire business. I couldn't work in the industry because all of the industry was around me and my ex running a company. That was the two of us, director, producer, and this is what we did. And what you'll see is when people split up, a lot of the time people pick one partner. And in this case, it wasn't me. So I was left with, oh my word, okay, I'm not a director. How am I going to start this new business? And my life took a really different turn. And I ended up having a relationship, which I had my first daughter. And I came back to Cape Town. I said, that's it. I'm done with the film industry. I want to see my daughter grow up in a beautiful, sunny, wonderful place where my family is. And so I moved to Cape Town, and this is where I still am. And my whole life, I decided that I didn't want to work full time, so I chose to select my hours. So literally, I wanted to be with my daughter. I wanted to see what it's like. I took her places, played, painted, created, went to the museum in the middle of the week just to go and look at some stuff and explore, because I felt that our children are so important and we don't spend enough time seeing them grow up. And through necessity, really, we're in a society where everyone is pushed to work harder and work more, and the life cost is increasing and the salaries aren't doing the same. So there's a big need for women to go back into the workplace, for women to put babies into nurseries from the tiny, tiny age of 3 months. And it's not always because they want to, it's because they have to. At that point, you start to say, like, is this really it? I'm literally just working to pay for the aftercare. I'm just literally here to pay for the school to look after my child. And you get onto this little hamster wheel of get up, go to work, drop the kids off, come home, make dinner, watch a bit of Netflix, go to bed, get up, go to work. And this happens all day long, nonstop. And there's a point where you just go, what the heck is going on? This surely can't be it. And it isn't. But I had some insights, and I always believe that since I was very young, I had a connection. I call it my connection to God. I'd have conversations and lie in bed and have conversations with God, and I'd get a lot of inspiration. And I'd also ask big questions like, why are we here if it's only going to be suffering, and all of this stuff. And so I want to share today a few things that I've learned through my experience. And through my experience, I've learned that I call it, and my kids also know that I say it, I said, in this reality, there is duality. When you look around where we are, there really is this masculine, feminine, up, down, hot, cold, left, right, dark, light, happy, sad, all of these things, love, fear. For every one-sided aspect, there's an equal and opposite other aspect. And so years ago, I came up with what I called the spiral. And the spiral for me was like, I like using visuals to help me to understand this reality, this life we're living a little bit better. And I came up with the idea of, imagine life is like a spiral where it's small at the top, then goes really, really big in the middle, and then spirals all the way down. So at the top part of the spiral, you have light, joy, happiness, freedom, expression, creativity, love, making love. And in the middle of the spiral, the big part for most people is it's almost like the zombie land. Get up, go to work, go to bed, get up, go to work. And it's gray and it's not inspiring. And it feels like, you're just depleted and you're just getting nowhere. And then the bottom part of the spiral, where we really get sucked down in a little vortex quite quickly, is depression, anxiety, stress, fear, jealousy, hatred, sex without love, abuse, violence, aggression, all the stuff that we hide from the world or don't want to acknowledge about ourselves, but is part of who we are. Because again, in this reality, there's duality. When you have one, you're going to have the other. So in your life, look at where on the spectrum of the spiral are you falling right now? Are you in the top part of the spiral and your life is going really well and you're inspired and you're healthy and money's going well and you're feeling good? And if that's you, wonderful, but it's probably not you, because you wouldn't be on here if that is who you thought you were. So the bottom part of the spiral is the part where most of our growth and experience happens, in terms of it's the stuff that cracks us open, that breaks the layers and the shells we've built around ourselves to protect ourselves from the experience. Because we get hurt in love, and so we build up a layer and said, next time I'm not going to love someone this much because when I did, this happened to me, so I'm not going to do it. Or someone betrayed me, or in work, someone stole all my money and ran off with my money, so next time I'm not going to trust people so much. And we build all these layers and we build all these walls to protect us, and we actually shrink smaller and smaller and smaller. Again, if you look at the world of duality, if you're shrinking, the opposite is also possible for you. So where you are financially, where you are in terms of health, where you are in terms of your relationship, which side of the spiral are you existing? And sometimes you might have your health is going exceptionally well. You're healthy, you're fit, no issues, but you have no money. Or your relationships are going well, happily married, wonderful family, great relationships at work, everything's going well, but your health is sucking. You are sick, you have issues, digestive issues, mental issues, heart issues, cholesterol, whatever all of these things are. You feel unhealthy, but yet the other part, or you are super financially wealthy and you have no relationships. You're lonely, you don't speak to your children, or you don't have a relationship with the people at work. So when you look at this duality, it's good to try and assess where you are on the spectrum, because the moment you know you're on this side, the possibility of getting to something at the top part of the spiral is also true. The thing that disconnects us from achieving and getting the thing that we truly deserve and want, which obviously is in the top part of the spiral, is whether we believe we can or can't. I think Henry Ford or someone said, whether you think you can or think you can't, or believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. So if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're also right. And a lot of the time, our belief in ourselves, our belief in the world, our belief about whether this is possible for us, whether we can get it, is what is blocking us. Because you'll think, oh yeah, I'd love to be rich, but that's never going to happen because, this is in my job and I'm stuck or your health, you're massively overweight and you're thinking, oh, I'll never be thin again. I'll never be healthy again because just look at me. This is impossible. And so you put a ceiling on what is possible for you just by limiting yourself through what you have faith in, what you believe is possible. So sometimes the hard bits is to crack those belief systems open. Something horrible will happen, or something challenging or difficult, a divorce, an illness, a relationship issue, a breakdown, financial destitution. Something will happen in your life to crack that open, to say, no, you have a limited belief. You can have all these things. You just don't believe it. You don't have faith in it. You don't believe it's possible for you. So that's one of the tips I want to definitely say is, in order for you to get the things you want, it truly has to become an experience of faith. And whether you are a religious person or not doesn't really matter, but the faith in the possibility that it can happen. Yes, it's possible. What if I could have all the health and wealth and love in the world? What if? Wouldn't that be wonderful? But then we choose to almost find the familiar. But I know the relationship like this is not great for me, but I understand that the relationship is just how it is. So I stay with the known. I don't explore into the unknown and push myself, because all I realize is I'm stuck in this environment and I know this environment, therefore I know how it's going to go. So in terms of other visuals that I tend to use to show up in life and to figure it out is, recently I had this little gauge, like a little, I imagine almost like on a speaker, and there's a little gauge to tell you when it's picking up sound, and it moves from one side to the other. Now, if you imagine the same with living in this duality, the needle of life can go to either side. It can go to what you want or what you don't want. And if you're spending more time here, it just means you need to start tipping the needle into the side that you want. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you've got to ask yourself, how much time are you spending actually actively following through on doing the things, feeling the things, and experiencing things that you truly want? Because most of the time we say, I'd love to do a dream job, but I'll never earn money in my dream job. So your belief system is about the fact that you don't believe you could earn money and do something you love. So that belief system needs to be changed and rewired. And until you have faith in it, the needle's not going to shift. And you don't need to shift it very far. As long as you go over the initial 50 in the middle, you're starting to be on the other side, which means you're now going to draw in the stuff of the other side that's actually the stuff that you truly want. And as things start to align more on this side, more of the positive things will come to you and you'll have more faith and belief. So the problem is when you're sitting on the wrong side of the needle, to tip it to the other side. And I also have another little visual I just want to introduce to you, which I got last night. I was like talking to someone and I was talking about sometimes when we are very stressed out, we're stuck in a certain state and it feels like we're drowning. It just feels like whatever we do, we're just not getting air. Money's not working or health's not working or whatever. And you are continuously struggling to get just a breather, a moment where you're not struggling or suffering, and it feels like you are just being pushed down, and then you might get a breath or two, something happens, you get a job in, or you go on a date, or something happens with your health, you suddenly feel better, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, a day later, you're back under the water surviving. To imagine again in the duality, imagine you had an hourglass and the sand is now falling all the way on top of you and you are feeling like you're drowning, or imagine it's water pouring on top of you. So in the duality, what you want to do is tip the hourglass back the other side. So now you're in control and all the bad stuff is flowing away from you and you are actually above water and breathing. You are the one who needs to tip the scales from where you are suffering, because if they're suffering, on the direct opposite, there's freedom, abundance, prosperity, health, wealth, relationships. Everything you want is on the other side. As long as there's suffering, there is the other side. So if you are on one side more than the other, you have to believe that the other side exists, because you are reminded in this reality that there's duality everywhere. Summer, winter, spring, autumn, hot, cold, up, down. Everything and varying degrees of it is to show us that this is an experience of choice. We didn't just arrive on one little vanilla flavored planet, eating vanilla flavored ice cream and wearing vanilla colored clothes, and you're alone on your little existent planet and only experiencing one thing. No, we are placed in an experience where there's infinite possibilities on both sides. Infinite suffering and infinite joy, infinite fear and anxiety and stress, and infinite joy, abundance and wonder and magic. So it just depends which side you are living from. And the thing that's blocking you from going to the other side is very simple. And it's a very hard thing to sometimes grasp, is you don't believe you can. You don't believe in it. You don't believe it's possible. Oh, I'll never meet someone because, I'm too old, or I'll never get really healthy because, I'm 200 kilograms overweight, or I'll never, make money because I live, in a very poor area and my job is really rubbish. And if you are stuck with that belief system, that is what your reality is going to reflect, because you are accepting and living something that is known, and you don't believe in tipping the hourglass to the other side. So when you tip the hourglass to the other side, you have peace. How can we tip it to the other side? So there's practical things we need to do. How much time are you actually spending dedicated to changing that belief system? That thought, I will never be, I will never have, I will never get to. How much time are you spending tipping that thought into faith, into belief? Saying, I can earn as much money as is possible in the world because I live in the world of duality. Just because I live here in this space, there's infinite possibility for me on either side. But sometimes when we get into a negative mind state, or we get into believing that this is all we have, you can't almost see the other side. And the other side is actually a very, very important part. When you spend time, you have to dedicate the same amount of time that you would dedicate to a lot of things. How much time do we dedicate to working? Most of our life, right? It's either working or sleeping, and then there's a tiny few hours in between where we might actually be enjoying life. So you need to start making it like you brush your teeth, or brush your hair, or have a shower every day. You have to dedicate time to shifting and breaking down what you're currently believing is blocking you. So a good exercise to go and write, what is the thing I truly want right now? So for someone, it could be, I want to be healthy. I want to be cancer-free. I want to have a baby. I want to have my dream job and make money. I want to travel the world. And write that at the top of your list. I would like to see the world. I'd like to travel. Or let's use money. People always struggling with money, right? I want to earn enough money that I never have to worry about going anywhere. I can travel where I want. I can look after myself and my family. My career is doing well, and I'm doing something I love doing. Write that as a thing. And then immediately you'll start hearing things like, you can't have a job you love and make money. That's never going to happen. So that's one thing. Then you start writing down every single negative belief that is causing you to stay on this side of the scale and not allowing you to tip over, because those are the thoughts, feelings, and experiences that you need to start creating in order for you to shift to the other side and attract and collect and create more of the things that you truly want. So write down, what are the things, if it's a relationship and you are single currently and you're saying to yourself, oh, I'll never meet a nice guy, or I'll never meet a nice woman because all people are cheaters, or all people are untrustworthy, or I'm too old, ugh, I can't be bothered with this. But in your heart of hearts, you know, maybe you don't want to grow old alone and you need a partnership, or you just want someone around in your house that you can talk to every day, or maybe you want a family. These are the things. You almost dismiss your dreams based on your belief system. I'll never get it because, and then you write it off. I'll never really do a job that I love and make money, so I'm just going to do what I can. I'm just going to do what I do now. It's good enough. But you're not happy. You're not living your full potential. You're not living your life. And time is literally running out. Every single day is a gift. And every single day that you are not inspired, thriving, loving your life is a day that's stolen from your joy. It's a day that you could be spending on the other side of the scale. And the only thing that's stopping you is the fact that you don't believe that you can actually get there. So start by implementing 5 to 10 minutes every single day, like brushing your teeth. Get up 5 minutes earlier, or go to bed 5 minutes later. And that time that you are basically in that moment, you have to suspend your disbelief. You have to. We don't need to understand gravity in order for us to believe gravity exists, right? I don't need to be a nuclear physicist and understand the forces, because gravity is a force we cannot see. We know it exists, we cannot see it. You can't see gravity, you can see the power of gravity. You can see that when I drop this eraser, oh, look, I didn't even look and I knew it's going to land. Like, I had utter faith in, I didn't think, oh, this is going to float in the air. I had utter belief and faith that this will land here. It will land here because that is gravity. Gravity is there. Can you see gravity? No. Can you feel it? Well, if you jump on a trampoline, you suddenly jump on the ground. Yes, you can feel gravity. There's a massive difference. But it's a force. It's a force that we have defined through physics and maths to understand it. But the same is this force of love that is drawing us into the life that we truly want and the life we can have. But we don't have that same faith. When I say to myself, I can earn 200,000 Rand a month, immediately there's like, 200,000, hoist the genade. That's a heck of a lot of money. Someone's earning it. Someone is earning it on this planet. Someone's earning way more than that, okay? And it's just that I haven't put that deep sense of faith and belief in the fact that I can and I will and it is possible, keeps me on the wrong side of the needle. Keeps me under the sand, keeps me under the water, and it keeps me stuck in survival. The moment you want to thrive, you have to practice, experience, and take action every day, consistently, like brushing your teeth. I've said it 100 times, but I want it to be a habit like that, to say, how much time am I spending in the enjoyment, the imagination, the creation part of what it would feel like to experience that. And it's so funny that we're talking about this, and I'll tell you why, because I woke up this morning and this is by far, and I've had a lot of dreams and not all of them are great, but this morning I woke up from the most beautiful dream. It's as if my reality wanted to show me something. I was in Paris and I was abundant, but not from an ego place. I just had enough. There wasn't worry about money. I wasn't worried. In fact, I was wearing this beautiful golden sequins dress in Paris, and I was walking around and everyone was nice and the sky was beautiful and the buildings were beautiful and I felt amazing. And even when I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my word, I looked, everything was beautiful and smooth and I was young and I was radiant. And I didn't feel ego. I just felt this deep appreciation for the beauty that can exist in life. And it gave me a glimpse of what it would feel like on the other side. And now I have a reference. And most of us don't have a reference, but we have an imagination. And I want you to use your imagination. Your imagination is the power of creation. If you can imagine it, you can have it. That is how it works. We just don't believe it. When you go, I've imagined a lot of stuff. I've sat manifesting for hours. And it's because we truly didn't believe in the possibility. The moment we say something positive and wonderful, we shoot it down, straight back down. So the first few times you are going to practice imagining and creating what you want, it's going to feel odd because you haven't done it. It's like the first time you get on a bike or someone says to you, try a skateboard. Yeah, you're going to be like, oh my word, okay, this might not work for me. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be like, I can't do it. I'm not stopping. It's like people who don't like meditating or yoga or whatever it is, doing weights or, riding a bike or going out in nature or sitting in the rain. We don't like what is uncomfortable, but yet we want the results. We want our life to work out, but we are not prepared to put in 5 minutes a day, sit in the discomfort of not knowing at first, until it becomes habit and starts becoming a reality. Because as you start getting those beautiful gifts, you are going to start having faith. And faith is the thing that's going to tip your scales into the right side. The moment you believe it and feel it and enjoy it, and you are being the thing that you want to have, your reality is going to bend. So I want you to keep watching this, and just new things might drop in for you. But my deepest desire for you is to ask yourself today, how much time are you truly spending imagining, feeling, taking action on the stuff that you truly want? And how much of it is being limited by the prison of your disbelief? Can't have it, can't do it, it's never going to happen, it's for other people, it's not for me. And while you are stuck in that side of the bottom of the hourglass, I want you to know, because you're in duality, you have the power. You are born from the creative power of creation. You were created, whether it's through evolution or God or love or whatever you're imagining, you are here in this reality right now. You were created. And whatever created this creation is part of you. Because if there was nothing and suddenly there was something, whatever the something was that created that, you are part of that. Matter cannot be destroyed or created. So everything that is in existence will always exist. Even if you die and your body dies, all the little atoms and particles of your body will still be here. So take the time to focus from tomorrow. Make a commitment that you are going for 30 days, going to spend 5 minutes, get up earlier 5 minutes, spend 5 minutes at your lunchtime or before you go to bed, and you're going to start the practice of imagination, using your imagination for creation. And creation meaning tipping into from survival into thriving. Surviving isn't great. We all want to thrive and we all deserve to thrive. So when you want to tip it, spend time, imagine, feel, create, be in that vibration, be in that essence of. And if you can't imagine, say to yourself, what if I was in Seychelles right now? Oh, I can just imagine I'm like snorkeling, I'm seeing the little cuttlefish. And even if you just play with your imagination like that and you sit with a smile, that's way better than sitting in anxiety and worry. So we are just rounding up. I want to say thank you for those who've joined me today. I'll keep the recording up if you want to send this to someone or if you want to share it or watch it again. And I'm going to try and do more of these. And if you have any questions, you can question or leave a comment, or you can direct message me and I will address your questions and comments on the next one. So I want to thank you for your 30 minutes and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember to tip the scales and start imagining and feeling and creating a life that is thriving and not just surviving.